An emotional day in court as the man accused of murdering a mother got killed.
What do you say to your family, your kids?
Listen, I love you.
Wearing purple, her favorite color, and wearing purple bracelets that said "Justice for Jennifer Brown."
Exculpatory evidence. Why was that not named after a probable cause? You know, you heard that allegedly Jennifer Brown's alive.
Welcome to Crash Scene. Today we're going to review a terrifying case involving Jennifer Brown. And it all started on January 3rd, 2023, in the state of Pennsylvania, in Limmer Township, when a 43-year-old woman disappeared and left an 8-year-old child alone at home. On January 4th, her 33-year-old close friend Blair Watts reported her missing after no information was received. Jennifer and Blair's friendship began as they worked together, but it expanded beyond business to include more than just project collaborations, and their friendship became more than just a friendship. Jennifer's 8-year-old son, who has autism, received support from Blair, who enjoyed playing with him and even left for Jennifer's house overnight when it was late. The 43-year-old woman's actions, including leaving her son in the house without any explanation, have been a topic of interest. This video will delve into a mystery, starting from the beginning. And before we begin, don't forget to subscribe for motivation and engaging content. Now, without further discussion, let's dive into the big mystery. Jennifer Brown was born in 1979. She was an energetic and amazing woman who was always smiling and taking care of the people around her. Everyone around her wanted to know how she could manage everything in her life and stay a full-energy woman. The individual's identity and birthplace are unknown, but in 2014, she gave birth to her first and only child, Noah. We don't have any information about Noah's father, and Jennifer knows as a mother who raised her son lonely. Noah had autism since early childhood, and he needed more care and attention from his parents. They were big friends, and they were spending a lot of time together. People in this small town saw their closeness, and no one thought about this when Jennifer suddenly disappeared on January 3rd. As we mentioned before, police received a report of missing Jennifer Brown from Blair Watts, and they started searching for her. Jennifer, a responsible and diligent individual, has caused shock and speculation among her followers. Everyone was thinking about Jennifer. The police launched extensive searches for her, raising questions about her reasons for leaving her son at home and her disappearance. Family and friends wondered about Jennifer, and no one had an answer to this question. This was really shocking news for everybody. At 4 o'clock, Officer Stephen Crawford of the Limmer Township Police Department went to Jennifer's house and decided to check everything. Suddenly, he found her vehicle parked here, and he discovered that her keys, tablet, and work cell phone were still in the house. But after some searching, they couldn't find her personal mobile phone, so they tried to locate Jennifer Brown's personal phone. After some time, they saw that her phone had been turned off at 7 a.m. on January 4th, and after this, they couldn't see any connection with her. The last location was near Lewis Road and Ridge Pike in the town of Limmy. In this period of investigation, this was one serious trace, and with this signal, they absolutely know that something terrible happened to Jennifer. Police asked questions to family, friends, and neighbors, hoping they heard some information or saw her somewhere. After Jennifer's aunt, Deanne Brem, and her close friends heard this information, they claimed that there was no way to leave her son alone at home without any explanation. They were convinced that Jennifer would never willingly abandon her son without a valid reason. As the investigation intensified, authorities began to explore other possible leads and avenues of inquiry to uncover the truth behind Jennifer's disappearance. It was the only story beginning, and the main story goes from here. On January 18th, 2 weeks after police received the missing report, 2 employers who worked at a warehouse near Royersford went out for a smoke, and after they were resting, they saw something strange and terrible here. They saw one big hole, which was freshly dug. They haven't ever seen it here. When they went deeper to check what this was, they found the mysterious body of a woman buried in this hole. They remembered this moment when the police came here to check if they had any serious information about Jennifer Brown, and when the body was taken on autopsy, the examiners determined the cause of death to be homicide by unspecified means. The discovery of the woman's body left them in shock, and as they tried to process the terrible scene, their minds raced with questions about who could have killed this woman and why. Everyone heard that they found her body, and they were checking it. The result was unexpected, and the police mindset changed from missing to homicide. The police began questioning family, friends, and neighbors, But with that, they had no serious information to follow. And this investigation was one of the most shocking, as you will see. After some time, they heard terrible information from an unexpected source, and the police weren't really searching for information from this source. But it helped them go deep into this mystery and reveal everything. When the police shared posters with the public about Jennifer's disappearance, one of Jennifer's teachers saw this poster, and they came to the police and revealed valuable information about this mystery and magical day when Mother suddenly disappeared and left her 8-year-old son lonely. On January 4th, when she disappeared, Noah told her some information that she thought it was unimportant at the time, but she realized it was terrible after learning of Jennifer's death. She said that Noah told her that Blair stopped a bus in front of their home to pick up Noah's iPad from the house. But when Blair returned from the house, he suddenly saw his mother's personal cell phone on him, and he was shocked and had no idea why he picked it. Noah was sure that this was absolutely his mom's phone after he saw the image on the lock screen. This image was from Noah's 2nd grade, and he recognized it immediately. This was a big and important step for the police, because they would see who had taken Jennifer's phone, and knew that if they could find the person with the phone, they would have a suspect. Official had their eyes on Blair. They decided to dive into the relationship between Blair and Jennifer and wondered if they missed something important. When they did this, they were shocked at how they left this part of the story. They were close friends who spent a lot of time together and knew each other's family and friends. But when they looked into their professional relationship as business partners, things were not as easy as they looked. Blair had a restaurant called Birdie's Kitchen, but this business ultimately went out of bankruptcy, and he was forced to close it in early 2022. After some time, he asked Jennifer for some help. She then decided to give him some assistance and funded a little money for his business. Soon they reopened. They signed a contract where Jennifer would provide money every 6 weeks. According to Blair, from August to January, Jennifer sent $36,000 to help him set up the restaurant once again. He also stated that according to their contract, she still owed him another $90,000 to fulfill her side of the deal. Blair found another location for his restaurant and reopened it in 2023. The money was given to Blair, but he never paid it to anyone, but rather, he secretly spent it on his activities and personal expenses. On December 26, 2023, the owners of this agreement revoked it, resulting on his business downfall once again. Now he had no money and had troubles on paying back Jennifer. Police also interviewed the owners, which revoked their agreement with Blair, and they learned that on January 4th, when he reported Jennifer missing, it was the same day. He had shown up on time and showed that he had no money that he needed to put down a lease. The police were sure that Blair murdered his business partner, Jennifer Brown, but they needed more evidence against him. After that, police began interrogating Blair's wife, Tiara, and asked her about his whereabouts on January 3rd, when Jennifer disappeared. His wife told them that his husband went from Jennifer at 1 p.m. on that day, and he came back home around 4:30 p.m. when he left Noah at his bus stop. Tiara Taylor also told the police that on this terrifying day, Noah wasn't home after 5 p.m., and he didn't return home. The police were more concerned about Blair's disappearance at 5 p.m. and failure to return home that night. They reviewed the information deeply, and it was shocking news for everybody because police saw that Blair spent the night with another woman called Tatiana Garrett. But when they interviewed Tatiana, she told them that they met at 8 p.m., which means that from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., he disappeared. This was also a big secret for the police, but after some time, everything reveals itself. The detective now had enough information to construct his movements with a timeline, and as time goes on, this mystery becomes easier to explain. Police believed that when it was 1 p.m. on January 3rd, when Noah was in school, Blair suddenly disappeared and murdered his business partner, Jennifer Brown. After that, he made a transfer from Jennifer's account and left to pick up Noah at the stop at 4 p.m. He then returned to the house to get Noah's iPad, but he also stole Jennifer's personal cell phone. After Blair left Noah, it was around 5 p.m. He went to check her body, and he buried her body in a shallow grave in Royasford territory. He had gone to meet his mistress and spent the night with her before returning home in the morning so he could drop off Noah at the stop. He had then gone to the property owners to tell them he now had money for the lease, and then he returned around 4 p.m. to pretend to see if Jenny would pick up Noah from the bus stop. So after this, he report Jennifer's disappearance to the police. As if he doesn't what had happened to her, the police had everything to catch him. But before this, they decided to do the final thing for sure. The police used the cadaver dog, which was trained to smell out biological remains and identify them, to first sniff out Jennifer's home, where it identified that she had been killed in the kitchen from the small that lingered February there. 8th, they After arrested that, they Blair went and and did the charged him same with on Blair's first-degree car. murder, With no third-degree surprise, murder, and it stealing. matched. People were shocked when the news was flashed out to the public. They knew how close they were and how often they spent time together. However, they are still reeling in shock that it was someone they all knew and trusted and who was supposed to be a close friend to Jennifer. But things didn't went that way. This video is another reason for us to always be on a lookout, because it's always the people who we least expect it to be that keeps us in trouble.